Today we're going to be reviewing the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Today on the Geek Review. Hi, I'm Brad Deaton. Recently this weekend I went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. With all the hype that surrounds it, because of the major success of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, it's a very anticipated movie and I want to give a review on it. So first off, I'm going to give a non-spoiler review, and that's just a very simple, go see it. This movie was amazing. This movie was just as good, if not better, than the original, which is saying something. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, was a very, very underestimated movie. It became a blockbuster. Nobody thought this movie was going to be near as good as it was. And this one had a bunch of hype around it because of the success of the first one. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun. It had the humor that the first one brought in it, but it didn't overplay previous jokes. It did bring back some jokes from the first one and made them even better. All the characters, the character development, it was done very well. Now I'm going to get into a deeper scope and a very much spoiler review. So right now, last warning, spoilers ahead. Okay, now you've been warned, so don't fuss at me if there's stuff in there you didn't know. So here's my spoiler review. Again, the movie was amazing. I liked it just as much as I did the original. When it started off with a bang. It showed Baby Groot. I loved that first scene, how it just focused on Baby Groot and all this amazing action was just going on in the background. There's this amazing fight scene going on, and just Baby Groot is the focus point as he does these random things. And that was just really, it was a really, really awesome direction to go in to start the movie off in, because it really captures the heart of this movie. So getting away from that, getting deeper into the movie, honestly, about 40 minutes into it, I honestly thought to myself that there was no way I was going to like this movie as much as the original. Not that I wasn't having fun. It was really good. I just didn't think that it was going to be able to top the original. And I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. As I mentioned before, the character development in this movie was really amazing, especially when it came to Rocket Raccoon and Hondu. Because Hondu in the first movie was a good character. He was thoroughly enjoyed every time he came on screen, but he was one layer. He was a Ravager who had picked up Peter Quill, and that's all he was really to us. He played a major part in the movie, but his character depth, he was a very shallow character. He only cared about money. So when it came to this movie, it started peeling back the layers and revealing the heart that surrounded this character. It started revealing how he was an outcast in his community and how he had done things wrong and he had made mistakes. Now he was just afraid to let anybody in. And that same scope that surrounded him about him being tough and him just being, an a-hole to everybody, went along with Rocket Raccoon. They developed together. I loved how they admitted to each other that they were the same, because they were just trying to be tough on the outside so no one would get close to them on the inside and they couldn't get hurt. They had made a lot of mistakes that they didn't want to admit to. And that was really awesome. It really, really played on the depth of those characters. Speaking of character development, then we meet Ego, who is Peter Quill's father. Again, I want to stress to you, I cannot stress enough, please go see this movie before watching this review. I do not want you to sit through this and realize that you missed out on a great experience. I hate hearing too much about a movie before I go see it. So please turn this off, go see the movie, pick up with me later. Yeah, but Ego, the planet, I did not know how that was going to turn out, because in the comics, that's just what he was. He was a planet. There was no depth to this character. He was Ego the planet. I don't know much about that character, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm the expert. I have not read up on Ego the character. I know that they took a twist with this movie by making him go into human form and being Peter Quill's father. I love how they made it this love story between him and Peter Quill's mother, only to find out that he was doing this to every species just to further along his agenda. Amazing. He turned out to be a very good villain. I love the climax of the movie. I loved how, and I can't even remember their names at this moment. I'm not going to stop the video, look it up. The Gold People. If you get mad at me for not remembering that, my bad. The Gold People are after him, and at the end, this climax is going on, and they find him, and I love the retro 80s noises that all their ships made. That was really cool. I loved Baby Groot all the way through the movie anyway, but the climax of the movie, his big role, was really awesome. The movie had a lot of heart. It had a lot of humor, and that's what everybody looked for in the Guardians of the Galaxy. So this really brought that back, and I think they did an amazing job. I think the ending credit scenes, I was honestly hoping to see a lot more of lead up to Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Ugh. And the end credit scenes, maybe some things we haven't seen in trailers. I was hoping to see a lot more lead up to Infinity Wars. To be honest, afterwards, I thought to myself, and I was like, I don't want to spoil that for me before I even go see this movie. So it actually was good that they didn't show too much about that, and they didn't make the end credit scenes all about that. Their end credit scenes were really, really funny, and I love that they are introducing Adam Warlock. I love that you see, again, don't remember their names, the Gold People have this cocoon, and you know they say atoms inside of it that's going to avenge them. If you don't know who Adam Warlock is, I'm not. He is a main player in the Marvel Universe. He is a superhero with very amazing powers. I don't know all those are, and if I did an episode where I talked about Adam Warlock, I'd want to be a little bit more expert on the situation, so I'm not going to pretend I know much about that character. But I know that he's a big player in all the Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet comic books. But I do not think he's going to play any kind of part in the movies. Sorry, but not going to happen, I don't think. Anyway, for me, this movie is definitely a go see, and definitely one of my favorites in the Marvel Universe. Yeah, I said it. If you want to let me know what you thought about the movie, share your opinion in the comments below. If you want to watch any of my other videos, please go to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. I'm Brad Deaton, and this has been The Geek Review.